Alright, let's install our wooden shoe bench. Before installation, let's familiarize ourselves with the parts and screws. First, let's take a look at the screws. These black screws are fixed on the left and right side panels. Each side panel has 4 holes for these black screws. This white part is a nut that needs to be embedded into the board during installation. Make sure the cross side is facing up for easy adjustment to align with the holes. It needs to be well adjusted. These two types are compatible, and this set of screws is called 3-in-1. We will proceed with a demonstration shortly. This is for installing between the panels. Next, we see the door handle and its screws. The screws for the door handle are different, they have more threads, making them easier to identify. These screws are rarer, typically we had 2, but we usually add 1 more. This is the mat we place at the bottom last. Next, this is a black part we handle for the flip cover. Now, we explain the installation steps. This is the matching screws and parts for this accessory. This is our wrench. This goes on the door panel and works like a magnet on the top panel to prevent that. When flipping, it could drop the entire cover. It has this detail, see how it sticks. This is our angle bracket, used to stabilize the turn signal if it's loose. It's an L shape, which fits at every corner, giving it this form. Once it's stuck, use small screws for reinforcement. Depending on personal needs, you can choose to reinforce or not. Reinforcement is done after installation based on needs, it can be installed later. Alright, let's talk about the board now. First, we see an accessory here for installing the flip tool. This is the left side panel, and that one is the right side panel. They differ, as the left has this. The right side doesn't have this. During installation, it's important to identify the top and bottom. The bottom has an extra hole on each side that faces downward. Pay attention to this. If the installation is done incorrectly, it won't be installable later. This side is the right hand. Looking at the right panel, this spot has no accessory. This spot has no accessory. This part is the top shelf. It has 2 holes for the open shoe rack on the right side. Then, this part is the shelf for shoes. There are 2 styles, one with a shelf and one without, which will be taller. If it's taller, this part can be left uninstalled. This is the middle side panel that works with an accessory. The left side needs to be flipped. This part is the door panel, which is easy to distinguish. It has a separate screw hole, and this part is the shelf. This part is our base plate, which is easy to identify. There are 2 large holes in the middle. This piece is a reinforcement point under our base plate. Once installed, it stands like this. Here are screws for installation. These 2 are compatible. When installing, make sure to prioritize this piece. And the last one is ours. This is the back panel. Here are the 3 shelves from our flip tool. This one is the middle shelf and this one is the top. We have 3 shelves from the flip tool. This one is for the front 2 shelves, close to the drawer side, and this one is the small end panel. Alright, we can start the installation shortly. Before we install, let's prioritize that. We should prioritize installing the 3-in-1 accessory. Let's install all the 3-in-1 accessories first, it'll make installation quicker. Like these small screw holes.